All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Let's get started. I'm going to go right to my share screen, and you can take a snapshot of this, or you can write really, really fast because I'm not going to leave this up here. All right, here's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, can everybody see a screen that starts with follow the recipe?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was worried. Nobody was saying anything.
Yes. No, it took
We're
me
all
a
trying to
while to
read it.
unmute.
Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to talk about today, guys. Follow the recipe. Be clear on your job description. Set non-negotiable standards. For example, 10 conversations and 1 appointment scheduled, whichever comes last. Lead generation and lead conversion. It's always going to be the conversation. Use a hook plus harm's way to schedule an appointment. Now, I'm specifically focused on expired listings today, all right? So get that out there. I want to use a hook plus harm's way questions in order to schedule an appointment versus having somebody hang up the phone on me and not getting an appointment. Convey care, trust, and knowledge. Look for opportunity, close for the listing appointment when you see opportunity, and lead follow-up. All right, I'm going to go off screen share and let's get started. All right, follow the recipe. If you're baking, Nathan, we were talking about 7-Up cake. If I decided I'm going to make a 7-Up cake and I don't have a recipe, I'm just going to go in the kitchen and start throwing ingredients in a bowl, mix it up, throw it in a pan, put the pan in the oven. How's it going to turn out?
Not that well.
Not that well at all. All right, so let's start by having the recipe. Now, if I have the recipe, but I don't really pay attention to it, Nathan, and maybe I use kind of like 90% of the ingredients, how's it turning out now?
You have people lying to you when they taste it.
I love that. It's the best cake I ever had. Oh my
It's
God,
good.
it's awful. It's like that Friends episode where Rachel made that 7-layer cake.
It's good, real good.
Yeah, she mixed 2 recipes together. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, just YouTube it, okay? All right. So I need to have a recipe to start with, and then I need to follow the recipe. So what's the recipe for building a successful real estate business? More specifically, what's the recipe for succeeding with expired listings? And why expired listings? Because necessity is the mother of invention, all right? So when the market shifts, we need to shift our mindset, and we also need to make an action shift. And one of those action shifts is we need to focus on expired listings in order to get more appointments, to take more listings. It's the opportunity in today's market. It's the low-hanging fruit in today's market. If I want to go get 4 listings this month, I'm going to focus on expired listings in order to go get 4 listings this month. Now, I have a recipe for doing that, and I'm going to follow the recipe. Every single step, ingredient by ingredient, not leaving anything out. All right, be clear on your job description. Your job description as a real estate agent is to lead generate for listing appointments and to go get seller listings. That's it. Super simple. Your job description is not all of the other stuff that we find ourselves doing during the day in order to feel busy. Never mistake movement with accomplishment. All right. Your job description, lead generate to get appointments. Go on appointments, convert those appointments to seller listing appointments, or follow up until you get to a point where they're ready. And you've created emotional proximity, so they're going to hire you. That's your job description. Be super clear on that. Now, set non-negotiable standards. You're going to set non-negotiable standards around that job description. So what is lead generation? Lead generation is 10 conversations and 1 appointment booked, whichever comes last. or it's 20 conversations and 2 appointments, whichever comes last. Whatever it is, just be clear on your definition of lead generation in order to be able to set non-negotiable standards and then hit those non-negotiable standards every day. If you define lead generation as I'm in lead generation 2 hours a day, my response to that is that's awesome. And what does that look like? Because I don't have enough information to know if you're doing the right things yet. How do you measure that? At the end of the day, how do you say success? I was successfully in lead generation. I succeeded in lead generation. Well, if you block 2 hours a day and you're in lead generation, if you're not clear on what your standards are, you could do anything and call it lead generation. But lead generation is real estate conversations. It's prospecting based, marketing enhanced. It's not marketing based and prospecting enhanced. It's prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Now, I know that the one thing that I can do is I can get on the phone every single day and I can call expired listings, just for example. And I set a standard. I'm going to have 10 conversations and I'm going to book one appointment, whichever comes last. Now, at the end of the day, Nathan, if I look at what I did that day and I had 10 real estate conversations, hello, I notice you're, Nathan, I'm calling in reference to your home at 123 Main Street. If I had an offer on your home today, would you want me to bring you the offer? Hook. Okay. Right off the top. And we're going to go deeper in that in just a second. Now, that's a real estate conversation. If they hang up the phone on me, it's still a conversation. But I'm having those conversations. And I'm not going to stop until I've scheduled one appointment. Now, because I'm doing that and I'm working 250 days a year, that means I'm going on 250 appointments. I'm face to face with 250 potential sellers. Now, at the end of the day, I can check the box that says I successfully did my job. All right. Lead generation and lead conversion. Anytime you're not hitting your goals, it's always going to come down to it's a lead generation problem, or it's a lead generation conversation, or it's a lead conversion conversation. Now, when you look at your numbers at the end of the week and at the end of the month, and you're hitting those standards for conversations, but you're not booking the appointments, it's a lead conversion conversation. In other words, let's practice our scripts. Let's practice, drill, rehearse. Let's role play our scripts in order to get better at lead conversion. So it's always going to be either a lead generation conversation. In other words, if you're not hitting your goals, talk to more people. And when you get to a point where you've talked to everybody you can talk to, 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever the number is, 40, and you're still not hitting your goals, now it's a lead conversion conversation. What do we need to do in order to convert more of these conversations to appointments? So let's go to the example I was using just a second ago. Nathan, can you be a seller for me?
Absolutely.
All right, guys, I want you to use a hook. All right. What a lot of you are doing is you're calling the expired listing and you're saying something like this. Hey, Nathan, this is John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with blank real estate company. And I'm calling because I noticed your listing came off the market. And I'm just curious, are you still interested in selling your home? Now, that's a great script. That's a script I taught you. However, if it's not working, then let's work on a better hook that keeps them on the phone. So, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Nathan.
Yes.
Nathan, this is John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with blank, and I'm calling to find out if I had an offer on your home. Would you want me to bring you that offer?
That's interesting. Do you have an offer?
You know, that's a great question, and I won't know until I see your home. And that's exactly why we need to get together so I could potentially bring you that offer.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's the holidays right now. Just call me, in January.
Okay, so pause for a moment outside the role play.
Okay.
It's hook plus harm's way. equals an appointment. All right. Understand what's happening here in the conversation and understand what the goal is, right? So Nathan's going to wait until after the holidays, right? So back to the role play, right? So Nathan, you want me to wait until after the holidays and call you then? Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. I can do that. However, before I go, just curious, if a buyer showed up tomorrow with an $800,000 offer, what would you do?
You know, I would look at it, but I still, I wouldn't, I still need to wait till after the holidays, but I would certainly consider something like that.
Okay, so I get that. If you waited until after the holidays and the market's different, and there's a lot more homes for sale, in other words, you have more competition. And that buyer that was willing to buy your home for $800,000, they've already bought another home. And maybe they were the buyer in the next 60 days, but you missed it because you waited. Would you still wait?
Yeah, at this time right now, we are really motivated to sell, but we just certainly are just going to. We have a lot of family coming in, in a couple of weeks, and if a buyer really wants our home, I think that they would, maybe consider to wait to. And I'm talking about the early part of January. I'm not talking about anything later after that.
I understand. I do. Now, if you were the buyer, Nathan, and you're looking to buy a home right now, you're a motivated buyer, you're a great buyer. You need to buy a home to move into in the next 30 days because you sold your home.
Yeah.
Are you waiting until after the holidays for this home to come back on the market?
If I was a motivated buyer and I really needed a home, like right now, I would do my best to secure this home. Yeah, I would because I need a home.
So you wouldn't wait.
I would not.
Yeah. So if you're not going to wait, is it possible that the buyer out there that's going to buy your home isn't waiting either?
It's possible. It
Right.
is.
Now, if you waited and it's the middle of January and you put your home back on the market, but the market's shifting to more of a buyer's market. We're going from 60 days of inventory to 90 to 120 days of inventory, and prices start to drop. And the value of your home dropped, let's just say 2%, not a big deal. 2% of 800,000, $16,000, but you lost $16,000 by waiting. Would you still wait?
I mean, I would not want to lose that $16,000, but it's just John, honestly, you really can call me the first part of January. We're just shutting everything down right now. It's just too much going on right now.
Okay, I understand. Now, before I let you go, and this is the last question I'm going to ask you, I promise, and then I'm going to let you go and I'll call you in January. What I'm hearing you say is if I were to show up with a buyer that made a full price offer on your home, $800,000 cash, you're asking $800,000, they're ready, they're willing, they're able, they're going to close in 30 days, and you could have your home sold by the end of January so that you could move. Hey, by the way, where are you moving to?
San Diego.
Okay, what's in San Diego?
Family.
Okay. So your home is sold middle of January and you're moving to San Diego. Would you reject that offer?
Oh, no, no, no. I would really consider it.
Okay. Now, in order for me to bring you that offer, I need to see your home.
Mhm.
And I only need 20 minutes to pop by, take some notes, ask some questions, so I can potentially bring you that buyer. Now, you can say no to this, but you might be saying no to the only buyer that you're going to have in the next 90 days, and then possibly still be in your home 6 months from now. So if I could pop by for 20 minutes and potentially bring you an offer, do you want me to do that?
If you don't mind seeing all these presents underneath the tree and one of them are not yours, yeah, come on by.
Yeah, you don't have to do a thing. I'm not buying your home. So does tomorrow at 4 work? Would 5 be better for you?
Mm, I would say 5 o'clock.
Okay, so I got the appointment. Really good role play, Nathan. All right. Hook, right off the bat. If I had an offer on your home, would you want me to bring you the offer? Now, transition to harm's way. All I did was ask harm's way questions to help Nathan make a new decision. I was not going to get him to change his mind, but I can help him make a new decision, meet with me based on new information. Clarissa, you had your hand up, then you put it down, but I don't want to pass by when you.
No, because I would have, well, this is coming from you.
Yeah.
When I was wondering why you didn't go deep and ask why he decided, what was the reason for him deciding to want to wait until after the holidays?
Yep. Could have asked that question. You're 100% right. You're absolutely right. I could have asked that question. Good job. Great observation on your point, on your part, by the way. All right. You've got the appointment. The next bullet point on our conversation for today is convey care, trust, and knowledge. Now, this is based on the fact that we know every seller is asking themselves 3 questions about us when we show up at that front door. And those 3 questions are, do you care about me? Can I trust you? Do you know what you're doing? Now, how do we convey care, trust, and knowledge? Well, we confirm the appointment ahead of time. We call the morning of, hey, Nathan, John Dietz with Blank Real Estate Company, just calling to confirm our appointment later today at 4 p.m. Nathan says, yep, you're still on. Cool. See you at 4 p.m. Now, I'm going to show up on time, not 4:05, not 4:10. If I'm late, do I care about Nathan? No. Can he trust me? No. Now, I'm going to dress professional because this is a professional appointment. And if I show up wearing shorts and flip-flops, it's a Florida thing, guys. It's probably a California thing too. If I show up wearing shorts and flip-flops, do I care about Nathan? No. Can he trust me? No. So I'm going to dress professional. I'm going to knock on that front door. This is my Kodak moment. I'm going to make a great first impression. Nathan opens the door. Hey, Nathan, John Dietz. We had an appointment today at 4 p.m. and it's 4 p.m. May I come in? The moment I walk in that door, wow, you have a beautiful home. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm excited for this opportunity to help you sell your home. Now, Nathan, before I go further, and what I want you to do is take me on a tour of your home. But before you do that, would you like me to take my shoes off? I'm being courteous. I'm being different. I'm being professional. Now, as we're touring the home, I am asking questions. I'm asking questions that are important for me to know the answers to in order for me to bring the right buyer. All right. Now, if I walk through Nathan's home and I don't take down any notes and I don't ask any questions, can he trust me? No. Do I care about him? No. So Nathan, as we tour your home, I'm going to ask you some questions. This is the information I'm going to use to help you sell your home. How long have you lived in your home? What updates have you made to your home in the last 2 or 3 years? How old is your roof? I can see that your home was built in blank. It's 20 years old and you've got brand new windows. When did you put the new windows in? All right. I'm asking questions that I need to know the answers to. All right. In order for me to be able to bring the right buyer. So for example, Nathan's on the water and there's boats in the canal. One of my questions I'm going to ask is, how big of a boat can I put behind your home? Do I have direct access to the ocean, or are there any fixed bridges that I need to go under? Is that important for me to know that? Of course it is. I could bring a buyer that has a 48-foot Hatteras that ain't going to fit under that little bridge and get out to the ocean. Is that the right buyer? No, it's the wrong buyer. Now, if I bring that buyer, what am I conveying? I don't care. You can't trust me. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I'm asking questions. I'm taking notes. Super important. Now, before I leave, it's the exit conversation, right? This is where I'm looking for opportunity, and I'm going to decide, am I going to close for a listing appointment, or is this a follow-up? Now, the question that Nathan, can you take yourself back off mute again? So Nathan, thank you for showing me your home. You have a beautiful home, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to help you sell your home. Now, just out of curiosity, what's your game plan for when you are going to put the house back on the market with a professional realtor like me?
Well, my game plan, I mean, I just want to, I don't want to go through um, what we went through having a home on the market the last time. And I
Yeah.
just want to make sure we decide to select the right agent that we feel that can do the job.
Right. Okay. So Nathan, in my experience, when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it usually comes down to one of three reasons, either price, presentation, or marketing. Now, just out of curiosity, which of those three do you believe is the reason your home didn't sell?
Well, we didn't get what we wanted. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess I would say that it potentially was the price. I mean, we've done a lot of renovations in our home. Our home shows very well. So,
Mhm.
you know, I'm a little confused with that. But to answer your question, I would say perhaps the price. But I noticed that the interest rates have are going down. So I don't know if that has something to do with why we didn't get our price. But I would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, 100%. And excuse me, guys. Coughing like this is not part of the appointment. So Nathan, price. Um, that may be, right? And did you get any offers?
We did get a few offers in the beginning, but they just were offers that we refused to accept. They were just too low.
Too low. Tell me what that looks like.
It was like $75,000 below what we want.
Okay. So $75,000 below your asking price. And if the market said that's the right price, not me, if the market said that's the right price, what would you do?
Well, if the market said that, then we would pretty much consider that. However, the Joneses, they live like 3 houses down,
Mhm.
and they bought their home the same time that we bought ours,
Mhm.
and they sold their home. They have a bigger backyard. They have a bigger lot over there. So we did decide to kind of list our home a little bit less. Than that was the strategy.
Mhm.
And if they can get it, I mean, why shouldn't we?
Okay, I understand that too. Now, when we spoke on the phone, you mentioned to me that you were going to wait until the middle of January to put your property back on the market with a real estate agent. Is that still your strategy?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, cool. Now, I'd love to earn the opportunity to be your agent. In the meantime, between now and January, I'll work really hard to bring you that buyer and help you get your home sold. Um, and between now and the middle of January, I'll follow up with you to make sure that I'm keeping you up to date with what I'm doing, keep you up to date with what's going on in the market. And I heard you when you said you didn't want to list your home until the middle of January. So I respect that decision. And is it okay with you if I just check in with you once a week between now and the middle of January?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes,
Okay.
do so.
Now, it's the middle of January, and if I could show you, not now, the middle of January, if I could show you how I could sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time in order to get you to San Diego so you could be with your family, would you be interested in seeing how I can do that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, great. So why don't we go ahead and put something on the calendar now? I've got January 11th in the afternoon, or I've got the 12th in the morning. Which would be better for you?
The 11th in the afternoon works well.
Okay, perfect. All right. look for opportunity, close for the listing appointment, lead follow-up, and then we're going to close. Let's say that Nathan doesn't have a clear motivation to sell, and he is okay if his home doesn't sell. He wants to sell. He'll sell if he could get his price, but he's not motivated to sell his home. So I'm going to follow up with him. All right. Remember, we can't change their mind, but that we can help them make a new decision based on new information. And at this point, they're not ready yet. We have to wait until they get to that point where they're ready. That's emotional proximity. So lead follow-up, I am going to systematically follow up with Nathan, which means he's going in my database. I am going to send handwritten personal notes, emails, text messages, and I'm going to call once a week for the first 4 weeks. And then I'm going to call once every other week for the next 4 weeks. And then when we get into month 3, I'm going to call once a month until we get to that point where Nathan asks me, John, what would you do to sell my home? He's ready. Close for the appointment. Now, at any point, if Nathan says we've completely changed our mind, we're just not selling, am I going to stop calling? No, because he's eventually going to change his mind, or he's eventually going to make a new decision based on new information. And because I have a standard that says I'm going to follow up forever, regardless of what he says, I have a standard that says no doesn't mean no, it just means not yet. I have a standard that says I reject rejection. I'm going to just follow up until he changes his mind. Now, does that mean everybody's going to change their mind? No, but on average, 20% of them will. So let's go back to how we started the call. If I'm going on 1 appointment a day or 250 a year, 20% of 250 is 50. So this model, this recipe will create 50 listing appointments if I follow the recipe exactly step by step without leaving out any of the ingredients. See, I can do everything up to follow up and then not follow up effectively. I'm going to fail. That's 98% of the ingredients in that 7-Up cake, but I didn't put the other 2% in. Ain't going to work. All right. Guys, I hope you got value out of this.
Great stuff. Really good.
Thank you, John.